two types of alarms out there. They're the ones that are hardwired, and they're the ones that are battery operated. The ones that are hardwired, though, still have a battery backup to them. So regardless of what type of alarm you've got, you still need to be checking that battery and changing it. And that's why we say change your clock, change your battery.
But that's a good reminder, because you do think, well, I'm set. It's hardwired. I don't need to even think about it. But power goes out.
Oh, absolutely. And we know, especially in this area with the weather that we have, whether it's spring, summer, winter, or fall, it's not uncommon for us to have power outages. And if you lose electric, you're not going to have those hardwired detectors. And especially if the battery is no good. If the battery's there, you've at least got battery backup, and the alarm will work for a number of hours.
Well, it has got to be just tragic for you guys when you get into a situation and there is a fatality and there's not a working smoke detector.
I think it goes back to what one of my instructors at the Fire Academy told me. He said there's no honor in fighting a fire that could have been prevented. And that's really incumbent on the fire service overall, is that we're trying to make sure that those tragedies don't happen. And this is one of our opportunities to get out in the community and to be able to remind folks how important those smoke alarms are. And it's not just the smoke alarms too, there's carbon monoxide detectors as well. And most of those also have some type of battery backup. And as we start getting into the cooler time of year now, folks are turning their furnaces on, and so that carbon monoxide threat now has increased significantly.
And we don't hear about those a lot, but it is important to have a carbon monoxide.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a silent but deadly killer, and that's one of the other opportunities that we have as we educate folks, is not only about the smoke alarms, but also about carbon monoxide detectors.
And we all think it's not going to happen to me.
Oh, yeah, and it does.
Yeah, and you see it you see it every day, and fires can start in a wide range. I mean, it can be wiring, it can be just carelessness, but it happens.
Absolutely, and we just came off of Fire Prevention Week, the early part of October, and we spent quite a bit of time educating folks in the community about different home threats, home fire safety hazards, and this is just another part of that work that we do. It would be nice if we could get to the point where we didn't have home fires anymore, certainly to a point where we didn't have fatalities in home fires anymore. And so we're working just to try and make sure that we can offer those reminders and can educate the public as often as possible.
Well, and you guys make such an effort to reduce the time it takes to get to a fire and to do and it's going down and down, and with the type of equipment you have now and the things you can see, this is just the easiest thing you can do.
Right. Well, and there's a number of challenges that we face in Stafford as far as trying to increase our availability. I mean, our system oftentimes is taxed, and there are times where those minutes and seconds count. So whatever we can do to encourage folks to help us kind of on the front end of that, we certainly want to do. And by taking 60 to 90 seconds to check your smoke alarm, make sure it's installed properly, and then to check that battery, that's just very, very short amount of time for a very huge payoff when the time counts.
So really the word is between now and Saturday night when you go to bed, just take, like you said, 90 seconds to do that. Put it in and make sure it's working.
Right. 3 things for you to do. You need to check and make sure that you've got smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, make sure they're installed properly, and then they need to be tested monthly. And then this week, between now and Saturday, we're encouraging folks to make sure that they test them and to just go ahead and swap out that 9-volt transistor battery or whatever the battery backup may be in that alarm.
Well, Chief, thanks for what you guys do. I mean, you guys are always there for us, and this is a small thing we can do to help you guys out.
Absolutely, and it's great, and I'm very proud of the work that the men and women of our system do day in and day out, not just in responding to calls, but in the effort that they'll put forward this weekend with Change Your Clock, Change Your Battery, and the tremendous work that they do day in and day out.
And I know when they get on a scene, I know in talking to some of your guys, when you want to get there and hear there's no one inside, and then they can just fight the fire from there. You hate to hear there's somebody inside.
I am hard pressed to think of anything that will generate the type of emotion and just adrenaline rush more than hearing that there's a report of people trapped inside. But it establishes the priority for us. We know our guys and gals know exactly what they need to do when they get there, and probably the music to our ears is that the structure is all clear and that nobody's inside.
Well, I guess while you're changing your battery, it doesn't hurt to also have your talk to your family about a plan if there is a fire.
Right. As I said, in early October during Fire Prevention Week, we spent quite a bit of time talking about, hey, make sure you have a plan, make sure that you exercise that plan, and especially having that meeting place outside the home so that as parents are talking with their children, they not only know what to do when that smoke alarm sounds, but they know how to get out and they know where to meet. Very important that you have that meeting place, because when our crews arrive on the scene, they're looking and their questions will be, is anyone still inside? If everybody's at that meeting place, then we've got a quick answer and we know what we can do then.
So go buy your batteries and get that taken care of right now.
Check those batteries and change your clock, change your batteries.